Hey guys, welcome to Mix with Varti. This is our first episode, and today we'll be talking about how and why you should be monoing your sub bass in your track. Now, when we talk about your mono in general, we talk about one signal. When we talk about stereo, we talk about two different signals, two speakers left and right, that sum up to one feed, one sound, one music, one track that you listen to. Individually, you get what the track is, but it does not represent the full track as is. So what's important here is that we talk about not the bass, but the subregion. The subregion usually in dance music is your kick, which often is mono regardless, and your bass. And the bass becomes an issue because a lot of times you want to make your track sound fat, so you put the stereo widening type of processing to make your bass sound fat and big and more interesting. But we got to make sure in sub-frequencies where our ears can't pick up stereo subtleties from the left and right speaker, we have to make sure that when these signals sum up in a mono environment, that they don't cancel each other out. That's called out of phase. When a specific frequency is completely out of phase, exactly out of phase, when you sum them up, they disappear. It's a +1 amplitude and a -1 amplitude, they equal to 0. So not to get too geeky and complicated about it, but that's pretty much what it does. So it's important, very important to keep at least your sub-region mono, your kick, and specifically for this topic, your bass line. So let's go in Ableton and I'll quickly show you guys how it's done. So I have a track loaded up. It's a track I've been working on. It's a bit more on the deep house end of things. I've loaded up a kick and a bass group. This bass has 2 channels. So let's quickly hear what this sounds like. So it's a simple bass line. You see the bass sound is round. It's wide as well, right? You see I've put it on EQ and I'm not really affecting the signal at all. This is just for a visual because I want to explain something to you guys. So in Ableton we have this plugin called Utility, which I've plugged in right here on the group. Now Utility comes with Ableton. Other DAWs have other type of similar monoing and stereoing utility type plugins, or you have third-party VSTs that kind of do the same as well. Ableton just has set it up in a very simple way. So if you use Ableton, this is a very easy and quick forward way of doing it. So you plug utility in and you see there's an option called mono. For a long time I used to just experiment with this mono button, and I used to quickly realize that, wait, my bass doesn't sound as good anymore. Like, what's the issue here? Like, why is everyone saying we should mono our bass, but by monoing my bass, it sounds like shit? What they mean by monoing your bass, they mean mono your sub-region of your bass. I'm going to press play. I'm going to show you guys the frequency range of your bass sound, and I'll show you what range you should mono instead of monoing the whole signal. We see here that the bass sound that covers actually has some trickling sounds all the way up to 1K. The main area of it is about 500 hertz range. Now, if we look at what's happening here, we see the main fundamental sub frequency is around between 40 hertz to about 55. So what Utility allows us to do, instead of simply monoing the whole signal, because you still want your mid-range and top-range bass sound to stay wide, there's an option to mono your bass mono. Once you click on this, you'll see the sound doesn't change much. And it's important to choose a frequency crossover. This means anything below this frequency is fully monoed. Anything above this crossover point stays as it is. Whatever you've done to it, it kind of stays the same sound. So in our case, we saw that the sub's going up to 55, right? If I were to bring it down to 55, press play, we see the sound doesn't change much. But one thing for sure, anything in this region of your spectrum is going to be monoed. So you're not going to have summing issues where frequencies, out of phase frequencies sum up and they're eliminated, and you won't hear that difference in the bass region. So I'm just gonna solo it on and off. I'm gonna disable it and I'm going to enable it so you could see the difference. It's barely noticeable, especially on headphones, or even you need massive speakers to kind of feel that vibe. We still feel like we're losing some width, but overall the bass sound stays wide, and you know you're kind of fail safe in a club because you're not going to lose energy if there's any out of phase going on. So it's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about this topic can get much more complicated. Feel free to reach out to me in comments below. And if you have any topic ideas, feel free to let me know as well. I'll see what I can cover, and I'll surely include them in topics in the following months to come. So if you like what you heard, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.